Hi, my name is Martha and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a talk through tutorial on this look. It was basically like a kind of a spur of the moment, kind of I don't know what I'm doing and just follow me as I figure out what I put on my face kind of tutorial. So I just knew that I wanted a warm vibe because I have like this like warm orangey rustic orange color on, and I also know the weather should pop in today and it's so beautiful, and I have my hair out, so you know I had to go a little warm today, you know. But yeah, so just if you want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. Hi guys, welcome back. So we're gonna get started. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my makeup today. I've just been feeling like really warm and I don't know, summery, springy. Clearly you can see it's warm out because I'm about to go outside with my off-the-shoulder side. I don't know, I don't have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do like a warm bronze smoky eye, like a daytime smoky eye. So probably a halo eye too, because you know how I do. But okay, let me stop. But yeah, so I'm gonna get started. I'm going to first, let's see. Really, this is like completely impromptu, so I don't even know what I'm about to do. I think I'm gonna prime my face with a combination of the BECCA Evermatte Poreless Primer and the Too Faced RX Primer. Because the BECCA primer is mattifying, I'm gonna use this in my T-zone because I get oily like nobody's business. And then I'm gonna take the Too Faced RX Primer everywhere else, basically. And for this primer, because it dries so quickly, you have to kind of like pat it in. You can't really sweep it. You gotta like push it into your pores basically and push it into your skin. Like there really is no rubbing with this primer. And then the Too Faced RX Primer is basically the opposite. It's very creamy and emollient and hydrating and almost kind of cooling. So if you have dry skin, you probably like this a lot more. But I don't know, I have like combination oily skin, so there's like dry patches around certain areas of my skin, like around my chin. So I like to use a combination of primers. I'm gonna apply this everywhere else. I get really dry around my mouth. My foundation tends to cake up around that area, like in the corners. So I like try to make sure that I apply moisturizing products in that area. So you don't know. But yeah, I got it on my lips. Okay, now this one's starting to dry, so I gotta like pat it in too. Alright, all right. Primed. Also, okay, let me just take a moment to talk about my skin. So my skin has been looking like trash lately. Like, I haven't been taking care of my skin, I'm being honest. I've been working out, but I haven't been drinking enough water, and I haven't been exfoliating or washing my faces with the products that I usually do. I just haven't been keeping up. Especially because we're in the process of moving, so everything is like half in storage, half not, and it's just like annoying to find things. So my skin was looking really dull and textured and starting to break out this week, but then I did like basically like an intense recovery session with my skin. Like I exfoliated, used my Clarisonic, and did a mask and some nose strips, and like my skin feels like so soft. So I'm gonna try to keep up with these products, and if my skin looks even better in like a week or two, I might make a video on how these products save my skin. Like obviously not the scarring, but like the texture and like the dullness. Like it was just bad. It was really bad. My skin was awful looking. But yeah, anyway. So now that the primer has kind of set a bit, I'm going to apply my foundation. So I'm going to go for a long-lasting foundation because I'm going to be out all day. So I'm probably going to use a combination of the Revlon Colorstay foundation and the Covergirl for 2-in-1 out stay all day foundation, something like that. I have to like roll up my sleeves because these sleeves are like drapey. It's cute, but it's gonna make a mess if I don't roll them up. Okay, so I'm just gonna mix that. Actually, am I gonna mix it on the back of my hand? I'm gonna mix it on my face. I'm gonna take a drop and apply the, I'm struggling. I'm gonna take the Revlon foundation on the outside of my face and then put a couple drops of the Covergirl in the center of my face. I put it right love how like natural the beauty blender makes everything look. Like you can wear like the thickest of foundations and a beauty blender will just make it look like light normal ass coverage. I love it. And with this Revlon foundation, I usually have to work pretty quickly because it dries quickly, but with the beauty blender I don't really have that issue. So yeah, that's good. I feel like it looks really like yellow on camera. It doesn't look as yellow. I mean, it is because the Covergirl foundation does have a slightly yellowish undertone, but it's not really that bad, and I think it will tone down as I do the rest of my makeup anyway. So yeah. Oh, I didn't do my brows. Oh, I don't know. Oh man, I have to get my brow pomade then. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do my brows now. I'm gonna do my brows off camera because they take forever, so I'll be back. My brows are now on. I feel like I'm far away from the camera. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. No, I still feel, now I feel like I'm really close. Is this good? Okay, so I'm gonna, okay, whatever. So I'm gonna clean up my brows a little bit with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. And the shade I use is 30 Cafe. I don't like to apply my concealer too close to my brows because I feel like it makes it harder to blend. So I try to leave like a centimeter of space so I can make sure that the product doesn't look too thick right around my brows. And then also I'm going to take some under my brows and I do the same thing and leave some space so I can have room to blend. And because I don't like to do brow highlight, like I don't like using a beige color as my brow highlight because I feel like it looks, I don't know, it just looks unnatural on my skin tone. I use my concealer, like a lighter concealer, to be my highlight basically. So I'm going to take a small flat top brush. I like flat top brushes for my brows because I don't know, I think the flatness makes it more precise than like a rounded brush. Yeah, so I'm just gonna gently blend this out and then I can get closer to my brows as I blend without worrying about like putting too much product. And I know it looks like a lot of like product already, but I can blend it up and out to my forehead. I need people to stop interrupting me during my videos and put some respect on them, for real. Alright. Now I'm going to blend out the other brow and be right back. Now I'm going to color correct my under eyes and the areas around my mouth and nose with an orange color corrector. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used to blend out my eyebrows, my like eyebrow concealer, and blend out this color corrector. And I know a lot of people like to apply their color corrector before they apply their foundation, but I actually prefer doing it afterwards because I feel like foundation gives you an even layer of skin, like it evens out your skin tone. So for me, it allows me to see where I actually need to apply the color corrector instead of applying too much at the beginning and then having to cover it up with foundation and then everything looking cakey and heavy. So I prefer to apply it afterwards, and I find that I have to use less product anyway. So yeah. And then also like the concealer that I use ends up covering the orangeness anyway. So I'm just to make sure everything is super blended, I'm just gonna go over one more time with my beauty blender. So now I'm going to be concealing my skin. Yeah, I'm gonna use a Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I'm not gonna lie, I like the concealer. I think it's very different from any concealer I've tried in terms of like mattifying and wear. But sometimes it looks a little too cakey. Like it's easy to go overboard. So like I have to be very like focused and careful when I use this concealer. So I'm gonna apply that. I'm gonna apply the color. I think the color I use is Deep. And I might mix like a drop of tan in there because it's a lighter shade, and I might want some highlight, just like a very subtle highlight, because I want to look pretty natural today, not like super heavy-ish, you know. And like really, I know people like tend to smear like all over with this concealer. Like when you do that with other concealers, I don't think it's a huge deal, but like with this concealer, I wouldn't recommend like just like smearing it on, because it dries quickly, and it also just, I don't know, just is a little goes a very long way. Like you don't need much. Like this, I think is kind of, is already gonna look like a lot, but maybe if I use my beauty blender, it won't look like too much. So let's see. Let's see. So this color matches me perfectly right now. Before it used to not match me because it was a little too dark, but now I got some tan on me. You know. I think I'm gonna, because this concealer does oxidize a bit on me, I'm still gonna go in with a little bit of the tan shade to lighten up the area. I'm gonna go in a little bit with the deep shade 2, because if I just put tan on right now, it'll just look unblended, so I need to put deep 2 to make sure it blends together. So yeah, let's see. So I'm gonna take one more drop of this here. Like I'm not gonna go directly under my eyes because I don't want it to look cakey. Then I'm gonna do, actually I'm gonna do another one, just a really quick small one, and then another like very small drop of the tan. Ooh, that might have been a lot. Yeah, like it might not look like a lot, but a little bit goes such, especially with this tan color, because it's lighter than my skin, like it goes for miles. Like, oh man, let's see how this goes. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. It's definitely brightening. Like, see, it's super brightening. Like, and I did one drop of that color. I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose too. You know, like above my lip and on my chin. Like one drop went this far. Like dang, like, that's OD, man. That's intense. Like that's what I really do like about this concealer. Like, a little bit goes a very long way. It'll last you a very long time, and it, in terms of product and price, like it's a better value for than a lot of other high-end concealers. So yeah. I think I look good and blended. Okay. So, okay, now I'm going to bake a little bit because my skin's oily. I don't usually bake, and I'm not that good at it, but because my skin is not oily and it's already getting warm, I'm gonna do a little bit, very little bit of baking with the Ruby Kisses HD Set and Forget powder in the shade Banana. So it looks like. Clearly I don't bake often because this looks like a 5-year-old is doing this, but whatever. I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm gonna sweep this away before it looks super cakey. This blush brush from Boots No. 7, and just sweep it away. I think it's, ooh, it's actually really nice for that. Huh. I couldn't find a use for this brush, but this might be its use. Okay. It's not too bad. I don't look too ashy. Alright. Oh, I should have baked my forehead a bit. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this remaining powder on my brush and dab it on my forehead. Because I get oily there, but I don't want to bake on my forehead because that's weird to me. Like, it'll just make my head look ashy as hell. And I know, like, I do kind of look a little light right now, at least on camera, but it actually does blend pretty well. I'm gonna bronze up a bit anyway, so it's fine. I look super matte, man. I don't know if I like that. Well, I'm oily, so it doesn't even matter what I like. I need to be matte. I'm probably gonna spritz my face down at the end of this because I don't want to look super duper matte. Like I look flat, but whatever. I'm gonna contour my face a little bit with my Black Radiance contour palette that I always use because I love it. If I can find it, this is what it looks like. So I'm gonna like mix the contour and the sculpt shade because I don't want it to be too harsh because the contour shade is like pretty dark. So I'm gonna tone it down a bit with the sculpt shade. So I like to just dab back and forth between the two when I apply it. So I'm just gonna pat this like, because I don't want it to be too intense. Like. Okay, I'm gonna take the NYX Nude Matte Eyeshadow in Dance the Tides as my transition color. If you're looking for a blending color, like a transition color at the drugstore, I think this is a really good one for deeper skin tone. I get really quiet when I do my eyeshadow. Okay, I think I put a little too much on that one, but I'm just gonna blend it out. Yeah, I'm really just winging this look, honestly. We'll see how this turns out. Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna turn out nicely because I'm me. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm completely joking. It was 100% a joke. Sometimes my makeup does look like trash, and I'm like, wow. I'm still gonna wear it out because I didn't waste my time, but yeah, sometimes I do have days, like several days, where I'm like, wow, my makeup just looks like trash every single day. And then some days I'm like, wow, who is this? This can't be me because I look too good. Like, but no. Yeah, so let's see. What shade should I use? Oh man. I think I'm gonna go into the Modern Renaissance palette because it's bae. And I think I'm gonna take the orange shade. I forget what it's called. What is it called? Realgar at the very end, and apply that in my crease as well. Just kind of add some more warmth and like some orange tones to my crease as well, because I really want this to be a very warm look. So yeah, I'm gonna just take it kind of over top of that color that I applied previously. Yeah, I really want this to be a very warm look, so I'm gonna kind of go ham with this orange color. And I'm gonna take this color and apply it in the halo shape. So I'm gonna, after I blend it out into my crease, I'm gonna apply it to the inner and outer corners of my lid. Also, speaking of brushes, oh, okay, who was speaking of brushes? No one was, but I was thinking about it. But I was just thinking about like this blending brush, and like it's pretty good, like for a $3 brush, you know, like Elf. Like I remember back in the day, I used to only buy, well, not only, like Elf was the first makeup brand I bought on the internet with my mom's credit card, obviously. But and like their brushes were like hit or miss back in the day, but now like I love Elf brushes. Like if I need to like buy, like if I'm stuck somewhere and I don't have a brush and I want an inexpensive brush at the drugstore, I'll definitely buy Elf. Like I don't look for any other brand but Elf really, like at the drugstore. So yeah, Elf should pop in. And like this brush like this, I know this is kind of supposed to mimic the shape of the 217 from MAC. Like a lot of brushes have this shape, but brushes like this are good for blending and also for applying like light washes of color on the lid. So I like using them for both of those things. So it's perfect for not only blending out this color, but applying it in the halo shape as well. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of blend. All right. Okay. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay. So I'm gonna actually take red ochre and deepen up that inner and outer corner of the halo. I'm gonna take the which brush is it? Elf crease brush, and I really love this brush. Like, I can't stop talking about this brush because I have small eyes. I think it's, I need this shit to focus. Okay, because I have small eyes, I need a brush that's like precise enough to like get in like directly in my crease or directly in areas where I want specific color, and this color is perfect. This brush is perfect for that. So I'm gonna take red ochre and apply that right on top, and then blend that into my crease a little bit. I'm applying this a little bit lower than my crease, so it's gonna be on my lid, but not on the entire lid, if that makes sense. I'm really liking this. Okay, so I think I might have been like kind of out of focus for the first few parts of this eyeshadow tutorial, so I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if it is. I'm just adjusting to this new setup. Like, also this camera just disrespects me, but I'm sorry if I was, but I'll try to fix it somehow in editing. We'll see. But yeah, okay. So yeah, I really like this look so far. Do you guys have like parts of your eye that just don't like to take color? Like, I have this part right here, like it just doesn't want to seem to take color, like as well as everywhere else. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it's annoying. It's really rude and annoying, disrespectful. All right, so I think I'm actually not gonna go into my Morphe palette. I'm going to stay, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I think I just really want to use this color. So I'm taking this NYX Prismatic eyeshadow. I haven't used this in a while. I don't think I've ever worn this out. But this color Liquid Gold, and it's just so pretty looking, and I think it's like perfect for what I'm wearing right now because it's kind of a coppery color, and I'm so excited. I hope this looks good. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I want it to be slightly more gold than just like straight up copper, I'm going to apply a golden eyeshadow base. I'm going to take Rubenesque, oh no, not Rubenesque, wow, Indianwood Paintpot by MAC. I haven't used this in literally years, but I'm pretty sure it's still creamy. Oh, yup, that's what I love about MAC paint pots. Like, I have a million of the Maybelline ones, and like they're good, but they don't last long because I think they're in a hard plastic, and MACs are actually in glass, that it doesn't last as long and it dries out. So, but this one is still creamy as hell, so I have to be very careful because look at this color. Damn, look how pigmented this shit is. Like, it's so pigmented. I should have used a concealer brush actually, now that I think about it, but oh well. I'm already in it. Gotta stick with it. Mama ain't raised no quitter. So yeah, this color is kind of almost like a pressed pigment. Like the way it feels, it kind of reminds me of the ColourPop shades, the way they apply. So you gotta be, I don't know. Actually, I think I'm gonna take this on my finger because it's kind of pissing me off. Oh yeah, there we go. This is what I want. This is what I want. Yeah, I'm gonna take it a little bit above where I applied that color too. I'm gonna clean it up with the brush, but to get the most pigment, I'm gonna just apply it with my finger. I don't really care if it's super neat, but I just kind of wanna bring it up a little bit. And I'm gonna also deepen up the where I applied the matte colors, because I want it just needs to be better blended, really, honestly. Like, yeah. So yeah, I just want more depth with these colors. So I'm going to apply every color that I applied in my crease and reapply them to the inner and outer corner and then under my eyes, and then I'll be back. For the lips today, I don't want to do anything intense, so I think I'm actually just going to take a brown liner and line my lips and then put lip gloss over it because that's me. I'm in the mood. That's the mood I'm in right now, so. So this liner is a little dark, just a little bit, so I am gonna take a lighter pink color. I'm gonna take this nude color from e.l.f. This is their matte lip color in the color Praline. And apply that kind of over top into the center mainly of my lips. Yeah, actually I'm gonna do it all the way over top. Yeah, this is perfect. I could apply this forever. Like, it's so pretty. This combination. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I want today. Yeah. I got my teeth. Ah. Okay, I kind of want to wear the Nicole Guerrero highlights, but I know those highlights are so intense. Like, there's no chill with the highlights, so I'm gonna put that on. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put that on. Let's see how this turns out. Oh Lord, it's gonna be a lot, just a whole lot. Let's see. I think I'm gonna take the color Glow Getter and apply that. This is gonna be so intense. I'm scared. Like, it's gonna be so intense. Okay, I'm gonna shake off any excess glitter and just kind of pat this. Oh Lord, Jesus, deliver me. Yeah, this highlighter is not for the faint of heart. This is like a, God, this is like really intense highlight. Like, I just don't even know how to describe it because it's just that intense. I'm not gonna put this in my nose bridge because it's already a lot on my cheeks, and I'm overwhelmed, really. Like, I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of pigment. This is a lot. Like, it's a beaming. This is a blinding. Like, if someone was getting on your nerves, just like turn your cheek and blind them. Like, that's all you have to do. It's a weapon. Actually, I will take a little, like, tiny bit and put it down the bridge of my nose, like a very light amount, just again for more cohesion. But I'm not gonna go ham. Like, that's more than enough right there. Like, that is more than enough. So I'm actually gonna take my blush brush, kind of blend the edges of the highlighter just so it blends a little bit better with my contour color. Yeah, because this is a lot. This is a whole lot. Okay. All right. So this is the finished look. So I hope you guys really like the way this turned out. I'm actually really happy about it. It's like neutral enough that I feel like I'm not doing too much for daytime. Like, I mean, do you boo, wear whatever you want in any time of the day, but it's still like glam enough for me to feel like, yes, I'm doing a little something extra, you know? So I hope this look turned out well and that you guys wanna, okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe for more content on my channel. Thanks, guys.